Most investors waste years building wealth the wrong way, and by the time they realize it, they've already lost thousands of dollars. Today, we're breaking down the exact problems destroying your financial future: foundation mistakes, sequencing errors, and the invisible traps nobody warns you about. This isn't theory or motivational fluff. This is the mathematical reality that separates people who build real wealth from those who stay stuck forever. I'm going to show you why smart people with good incomes still can't get ahead financially, even when they're doing everything they think is right. And more importantly, I'll give you the exact step-by-step blueprint to fix it before you waste another month going in circles. But first, let me ask you something that might make you uncomfortable. How much interest are you paying right now on credit cards or loans? Because if that number is higher than what your investments are earning, you're already losing the game before you even start playing it. Most people ignore this simple math and wonder why their portfolio never grows the way those finance gurus promised it would on social media. The truth is brutal but necessary. Your investment strategy doesn't matter at all if your financial foundation is cracked and broken underneath it. So let's start by identifying the 3 biggest foundation mistakes that are silently destroying your wealth while you're focused on picking stocks. The first wealth killer is so obvious that everyone overlooks it: investing money while simultaneously drowning in high-interest debt that compounds against you. Picture someone putting $500 into index funds every month while their credit card charges them 22% interest on $8,000. They check their investment account religiously, watching it grow by maybe 7% annually, feeling productive and responsible about their financial future. Meanwhile, their credit card debt is compounding at a rate 3 times faster than any realistic investment return they could possibly achieve. The math is devastatingly simple. Losing 22% guaranteed always beats gaining 7% optimistically, yet millions make this exact mistake daily. This happens because investing feels like progress and success, while paying off debt feels boring, unglamorous, and like you're moving backwards financially. But here's the reality that nobody wants to hear. Every month you carry that balance costs you hundreds in interest that vaporizes your wealth. If you eliminated that $8,000 balance completely, you'd save roughly $1,760 per year in interest alone. That's money you could immediately redirect into investments where it actually compounds for you instead of against you every single day of the year. The solution isn't complicated. Stop all investing temporarily. Attack the high interest debt with extreme focus, then restart investing once you're debt-free and ready. The second wealth destroyer is even more dangerous because it hides in plain sight: building an investment portfolio with zero emergency savings backing it up. Imagine someone with $20,000 invested in the stock market, but only $300 sitting in their actual bank account for emergencies. They feel financially sophisticated because they're invested in index funds, ETFs, and maybe some individual stocks that their favorite influencer recommended on social media. Then life does what life always does eventually. Their car transmission fails, their dog needs emergency surgery, or their laptop dies right before deadline. Suddenly, they're faced with a choice between 2 equally terrible options that will both destroy months or years of disciplined wealth-building efforts. Option 1. Sell investments at whatever the current market price happens to be, potentially locking in losses if the timing is terrible. Option 2. Swipe the credit card and take on high-interest debt just to cover an expense that a proper emergency fund should have handled. Either choice completely undermines everything they've worked for, and the worst part is this disaster was entirely predictable and completely preventable from the start. This cycle repeats itself over and over because the foundation was never solid, and each emergency chips away at progress until nothing remains. The solution is unglamorous but essential. Build 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash before investing aggressively. No exceptions or shortcuts allowed. The third foundation mistake costs people tens of thousands over their lifetime, but feels completely invisible: ignoring free money from employer retirement matches. Picture someone investing $500 monthly into a taxable brokerage account while leaving their employer's 401k match completely unclaimed and untouched. Their employer offers to match 50 cents on every dollar, up to 6% of salary, which equals free money with zero risk attached. But they skip it entirely because they heard that 401ks have fees, or they want more control, or they simply don't understand how it works. Let's do the math on what this mistake actually costs. Someone earning $60,000 annually who skips the match loses $1,800 every year. That's $1,800 of guaranteed return that requires zero market risk, zero investment skill, and zero additional effort beyond filling out enrollment paperwork. Over a 30-year career, That ignored match compounds to over $200,000, assuming conservative 7% average annual returns. No stock picking strategy, no crypto gamble, no real estate deal will ever beat the guaranteed 50 to 100% return of employer matching. People chase complex investment strategies while leaving the easiest money on the table, and this single mistake can derail retirement plans permanently. Fix is simple. Always capture the full employer match first, before investing a single dollar anywhere else, period. End of discussion. Now, here's what connects all three mistakes together into one devastating pattern. People invest in completely the wrong order and wonder why progress feels impossible. They treat wealth building like a buffet, where you can pick whatever looks most exciting. But money has rules, and breaking them is expensive. The correct sequence isn't optional or flexible. It's mathematical reality, and ignoring it guarantees you'll work harder for smaller results than necessary. Think about building a house. You can't install the roof before pouring the foundation. Yet people try this exact approach with their finances constantly. They buy stocks before eliminating debt, chase returns before building safety nets, and optimize taxes before capturing free employer money available to them. Each step out of order creates friction that slows progress, increases risk, and makes the entire journey harder than it ever needed to be. The person who follows proper sequence reaches financial independence years or even decades faster than someone with the exact same income going randomly. This isn't about being smarter or luckier. It's about understanding that certain financial moves must happen before others, or they simply don't work properly. Bad sequencing is why two people earning identical salaries can end up in completely different financial positions after 10 or 20 years pass by. So let's break down the exact correct order, step by step, with no confusion, no exceptions, and no room for expensive mistakes moving forward.
Step 1 in the correct wealth building sequence is unsexy, unglamorous, and absolutely non-negotiable. Build your emergency fund before doing anything else whatsoever. Start with $1,000 in a high-yield savings account as your starter emergency fund that protects you from small unexpected expenses immediately. This isn't for vacations, new phones, or things you want. This is exclusively for genuine emergencies like car repairs, medical bills, or urgent home fixes. Once you have that foundation in place, immediately move to step 2. Eliminate all high-interest debt above 7 to 8% interest rates. Credit cards, personal loans, payday loans, anything charging more than the market returns must be destroyed completely before investing a single dollar anywhere.
Use either the avalanche method, paying highest interest first, or snowball method, paying smallest balance first, whichever keeps you motivated and consistent. This step feels like moving backwards because your net worth doesn't grow, but you're actually saving thousands in interest that would have vaporized silently. After eliminating high interest debt completely, return to your emergency fund and build it to 3 to 6 months of essential living expenses. This full emergency fund protects your investments from panic selling and prevents new debt from forming when unexpected expenses inevitably appear in life. Only after completing these foundation steps does step 3 become available. Capture your full employer 401k match up to the maximum they offer. Step 4 in the proper sequence changes everything, because this is where tax advantages start multiplying your wealth faster than most people realize possible. Open and max out a Roth IRA or traditional IRA, depending on your current tax situation and income level for the year. Roth gives you tax-free growth and withdrawals in retirement, while traditional gives you tax deductions now and deferred growth until you withdraw later. The contribution limit is $7,000 annually for 2024, which breaks down to roughly $583 per month if you spread it evenly. IRAs give you significantly more investment options, lower fees, and better control compared to most employer 401k plans that have limited fund choices. After maxing your IRA completely, step 5 is returning to your 401k and contributing beyond the match up to the annual maximum limit. The 2024 limit is $23,000, which seems impossible until you realize it's about $1,900 monthly for high-income earners. These contributions grow completely tax-deferred for decades, compounding without the IRS taking a cut every year like they do with taxable accounts. Step 6 is the most underrated wealth-building tool that almost nobody uses correctly: health savings accounts with their triple tax advantage benefit. HSAs give you a tax deduction going in, tax-free growth while invested, and tax-free withdrawals for medical expenses at any point forever. The final steps in proper sequencing separate people who build modest wealth from those who achieve genuine financial independence and generational wealth transfer. Step 7 involves maxing out your HSA contributions, which for 2024
2024 means $4,150 for individuals or $8,300 for families. Invest the HSA funds in index funds instead of leaving them in cash. Then pay medical expenses out of pocket while letting the account grow. After age 65, HSAs function exactly like traditional IRAs for non-medical withdrawals, giving you incredible flexibility in retirement planning and tax optimization. Step 8 is where you finally open taxable brokerage accounts for goals that don't fit into retirement timelines or need earlier accessibility.
Taxable accounts have zero contribution limits, but also zero tax advantages, so you'll pay taxes on dividends, interest, and capital gains annually. Use tax-efficient index funds in taxable accounts, and save tax-inefficient investments like bonds or REITs for your retirement accounts whenever possible. Following this exact sequence in order, without skipping steps or jumping ahead, is what separates top wealth builders from average income earners permanently. Every month spent in the wrong order costs you money through lost returns, unnecessary taxes, or missed opportunities that you can never recover. So here's your choice. Keep doing what everyone else does and get the same mediocre results, or follow the proven sequence and watch your wealth actually accelerate dramatically.